Good afternoon, everyone. This is Deb Slutmone with Implementation Specialist, and thanks for joining today our webinar on Sneak Peek at Prospects. I've got Brandon Mayer here, our Director of Sales, and he's going to join me for this because he does a lot of opportunities and a lot of prospecting. So this is a product that's near and dear to his heart. So Brandon, say hello to our audience.
Hello, everyone.
So guys, hopefully everyone can see my screen okay. We're going to go ahead and walk through our latest product. So Prospects is part of our Dispatch Center. So some of you might have seen Dispatch a time or two. But if you notice up at the very top of my screen, Brandon, you're going to see a couple new tabs. So typically, Dispatch is all about customers and customer care and scheduling and equipment scheduling and billing and, of course, reporting, right? So, of course, here we go with customers and our favorite things there, finding and seeing everything that they have, and then being able to take that over to scheduling. And then, of course, adding our machine scheduling and billing is just, parts of what makes Dispatch a unique work experience for the end user. You notice I'm not in GP right now or Key to Act. I'm sitting over here on Dispatch working back and forth with the database, but working over here separate in my own experience. So take a look at our two new pieces, Brandon. We've got Prospect here at the top, and coming for Synergy is going to be contracts. And we are so excited about both of these. And my group has been working very hard so that we can do a couple sneak peeks and get people really excited about Synergy. And Brandon, I know you have some fun coming today for Synergy. Do you want to share with our group what we've got coming for next week? Or are you going to keep them all in surprise?
Keep them in surprise.
Really? I thought maybe you guys would get a little bit more, but be watching your email today for another huge surprise fun event coming for Synergy next week. So, okay, so Brandon, we probably better get down to work because I know you've got only about 20 minutes you're going to let me talk through this, and there's a lot to talk through. So the one thing that we found when we rolled out Dispatch was that customers were really excited about customers and bringing so many pieces of information around a customer in one space. And Brandon, I think you had one customer tell you that was like 20 windows that they typically go to find all the information about a customer. Well, we love that, and when we went and we would deploy, customers would love this piece of it, but we always felt like for the salespeople, they would be requesting information, and they would be getting printouts of customers and equipment and invoices, and but they never really had a place that was their own. So what we did is we took and we made Prospects, and what Prospect does is it allows you to give some pieces of your overall system to our salespeople, so they have information they need. So Brandon, you could get customer information, you could get location, specific contact, phone numbers, email. You can get all of those pieces right here at your fingertips instead of having to go to the controller or to a CSM to get that information. So if you take a look at mine, up at the top, you're going to see I'm in Prospect. I'm going to save contracts, Brandon, for Synergy. So just so you know, okay, I'm not going to touch that one today. But I'm going to stay in Prospects because it's one of my favorites. Because I love the selling part. So if you notice here, I have a number of buttons across the top. I can create a brand new prospect. So Brandon, I don't have to have anybody set up my prospects. If they're already a customer, I can bring them across. But if you have a brand new prospect, I can go ahead and enter it in. I can edit my existing ones, and I can secure this down by salespeople or by team leaders, so my team leaders could see their salespeople underneath them, or everyone can see everything. You really have a lot of control how you set up that user experience. Okay, so, and if you notice, I can inactivate prospects. Well, I don't win all my opportunities, Brandon, so I might want to inactivate them, but I might want to come back to them and really review, so I have that option. I have the ability to delete prospects too, because sometimes, Brandon, I'll set up one and they're already a customer, so I don't want to have two in my system. I want to just bring them over from my import current customer, okay? And of course, once I get a prospect in, I want to be able to create contacts underneath them or edit contact information for those prospects. Sometimes, again, maybe needing to delete a contact if I see that I have them in incorrect or in duplicated, okay? So the fun part for me is being able to, again, get that customer in or get that prospect in. So I'm going to take us back to that customer side. And if you notice, I'm going to use one of my searches here. So you know me and Bob Smiley, we're best friends, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and find my Bob Smiley. And once I get Bob Smiley on my customer panel here, I can switch over to my prospect and use my import customer, and he will come right in to my prospect side, okay? So nice and easy to work with there. At the same time, I'm seeing all of my information about Bob Smiley, who's a current customer, but also a prospect. And I can add in additional contacts for him and go ahead and, so we're going to add in Patty. If we can type today, Brandon, you know, it's always, it's kind of iffy, right? We'll go ahead and add in Patty, and we'll put her in P.O. Box. Typing's getting worse. We'll put her in lovely sunny No Snow Holly. Okay, we better fill in a role type for her. We'll make her a CFO, and we'll give her an email. Okay, because our email functionality is going to be everywhere. So we'll put her at Lake Park Golf. Okay, and I'll go ahead and update. So you can see I'm tracking all of that here. So if I'm working with contacts that aren't in regular customers or they're not in the system anywhere, I can add them in here as well. So being able just to capture all that information is huge. And of course, all of our pieces are going to work with our filtering just like you've seen in the past. So if you're used to our filters and the way to search and sort, that's all workable here on our palettes, just like you've seen everywhere throughout Dispatch. At the same time, once I get Patty in, of course, Brandon, you know me, I want to create some opportunities. So here at the top, I have my Create Opportunity button, and I could do that with my right click as well anywhere. But for me, I like my new buttons. You guys did a great job on those. And you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and assign this one to Patty. And I'm actually in as Ian today, so I'm going to be Ian. So I'm going to give Patty a new heating system. Here's my new opportunity. It's going to be open. My time frame, if you notice here, I've got a number of different time frames. And I'm going to say next quarter and an estimated close date of, we'll go ahead and put this into May. And I can add my notes here, Brandon. So if I want to give any specifics here, I can do that as well. And I can go ahead and update. Now, if you notice, I have a brand new opportunity here, okay? Same time, once I set that opportunity, I can go ahead and create tasks for that opportunity. So when I'm doing my tasking now, I'm setting tasks that are specific to heating systems here. So I'm gonna go ahead and, sorry guys, I didn't log in as Ian, so, I'm sorry guys, I'm in as an admin, and I should have switched to that one. So I'm going to say I better schedule my estimator out there because, Brandon, I really want to get this down to where I have a good feeling as far as seeing all my tasks that are assigned to that opportunity, what I need to do. So I just switched my view. So instead of saying all my tasking that's due, I'm just looking at just my heating system. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule my estimator. And then I'm going to go ahead and schedule a visit with Patty because, I really want to make sure that I remember to follow up after the estimator so I can walk through all the things the estimator found. And I'll update that one. And then I probably better put down to create a quote for Patty. Okay. And I'll just add in a few more tasks here. Follow up with dates on CSM for install, all the key things that really make a great opportunity into a great customer and a great experience for our end customer, right? And of course, your salespeople can define all of these. Your CSMs can have access here as well. So Brandon, you're going to be in my role of a CSM for a little bit. You could come in here when you get a current customer calling in and you want Ian to go ahead and follow up with that. You're the CSM now, so you can push that over to me as salespeople as a task and a to-do. And my end users, my end sales can actually have access to all of this information and being able to be very productive and efficient on how that's passed back and forth versus the sticky notes and the sheets going back and forth. Plus, I know Don's been working hard at getting all of our email capabilities running here. So that's a great part about it too, because now when I'm doing all of these, I have the ability to email, just like I do throughout the rest of Dispatch, and update dates and calendar appointments. all those things that I want to have in around that task and really what I want to do. And then notice I have my completed button, Brandon, so I can go ahead, complete those tasks as things are done, and add in any notes around those as well. Now, my favorite thing, of course, because you know me and my favorites, my favorite thing here is I'm going to click on my Create Quote for Patty, and I'm going to use my Create Quote button here at the top. Now, I don't have to necessarily assign a quote to a task, but I can use my quote button anywhere and track my quoting. So maybe I'm not really on all my tasking, but I love creating quotes, because if I'm creating quotes, I have the potential of creating invoices and service calls, which is much more fun. But at the same time, I can come in here and go ahead, set in my price matrix if I know it, and I'm going to put my heating system here for my description. Now I know my materials are going to be 500. My equipment, I probably need I need a dumpster out there to remove the old stuff, Brandon, and I'm going to probably use a couple subs, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And then, of course, we have some miscellaneous, so I'm going to add that in. If you notice here, I'm just creating a quick, easy quote. Oh, Brandon, we almost forgot our labor, so let's go ahead and add in our labor as well. So you notice I'm only at 15.52% here, Brandon, but I do get a good idea of where my profit is going to lie if I do give that kind of a discount to that end customer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use my update button there, guys. And if you notice, now I've got a quote in my system for that new heating system, and I can stretch that out and get a better view of it, just like I can all of my windows throughout Dispatch and throughout, you know, whether I'm on customer, scheduler, machine schedule billing, any of those pieces. Okay, so Brandon, what do you think of our new prospects so far?
I think it's fantastic.
It's pretty fun, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, my last really big favorite thing I really want to show you, Brandon, is now that I have got this total heating system, and if you notice my tasks here, I've been completing my tasks, been going back and forth with my tasks, and you know, I've got my scheduler completed, and I'll go ahead and just complete that one and update. And I visited with Patty. She was super excited about our estimate. And of course, you know, I emailed a copy right over, because you know how I am with my emails. And I'll update that one. I got the quote to her, and now she's accepted the quote, so I'll go ahead and update that one as well and complete. So I'm really to the point of just following up with the dates for my install. So as long as I'm ready to do my install and to help our CSMs and our dispatch, I can go ahead and transfer this quote. So now, guys, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and remember this quote that I had up just a second ago, same quote. I'm going to go ahead and use my transfer quote, and I've got a check mark, or I've got my right click option to go ahead and transfer the quote, and I'll say OK there. You notice, Brandon, it's telling me it's successfully transferred, so I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to jump back over to my customer side, and I'm just going to go ahead and refresh my my search here on Bob, and bring that down so you can see all of my Bob Smileys here. And what you're noticing here at the bottom is my new quoted call, which is for my service call I just set up. And here it comes, my new total heating system and all of my fun around it. Okay. So Brandon, what do you think of that as far as just an overall process? Oh, sorry, Brandon, I'll take you back to the call there so you can see it. My service call there, my quote that I just put in the system, it's all come across. And you know what, Brandon? If I went back over into ERP, if I had access, I would see this already created as a call. Now at this point, my dispatcher can pick it up and do all the things they do with it, because now it's a seamless process between the sales side, my end people dealing with customers, setting them up as far as being able to do the invoicing, all that piece. Now I'm just transferring it back over to you for scheduling as that CSM now. What do you think about that, Brandon?
It's seamless.
Very seamless. And of course, again, here you're seeing our email buttons here on the service call, and I can go ahead and email that customer with the additional calendar dates. I can email the technician saying, hey, make sure you've got this, this, and this on your truck. All those things that I want to be able to do. Very easy from the prospect tab. So we started that prospect from a customer card, but you can again just create that prospect right here with your create prospect as well. And if I right click, if you notice, again, just that ability everywhere in the system to be able to see different options for editing and activating. Same thing when you're looking at my opportunities to create additional opportunities, things like that. So Brandon, I'm sure you've got tons of questions from the field. Do you want to go ahead and start us off with a few of the questions from what end users are seeing or what they want to see more of?
Yeah, so there was a couple of comments. One coming from Rob. I love it. Is there a built-in workflow that assigns various tasks to various people, sending an email to them to follow up on whatever has been assigned?
Great question. And I know, Brandon, probably what we'll do is take that back to development, to Cheryl and her team, and see if they're, I know this is version 1.0 right now, and we are so excited to show this to customers at Synergy and to really get some feedback, because we try to keep our products very simple, very easy, user-friendly as far as that end user goes. So our first piece really was just to get a place to capture the information, and I think our team did a great job at the capture. Now it's really getting it to a point of, what else? What are the next things that we really want to do with this? And we're really looking for great feedback from all customers at Synergy or email in to us direct, of course.
Yep, but I can see that being something added right to when you're doing the updates. There's a email to that particular person that it's been assigned.
Right. And so, Brandon, what I'm going to say to that as well, so Rob, great question and great feedback. And Rob, that we can do a lot of magical things inside of SQL with our alert process and basically just some easy triggers that we put in. So that would be a great suggestion. I'm going to take it back to the developers upstairs and just see if we had some common items for tasking, that if they could take those and do a trigger on that as well to do some automation around that workflow. Okay?
Okay, a couple more. This one comes from Jeff. Do you have the ability to create a template of standard tasks so they don't have to be manually entered every time? Another really good question and idea. Today, no, but we have, I do know at one point we were talking about maybe having a copy button or just a standard one that you could pick, but not in the product today.
Definitely not.
But we will absolutely log that as a request and get that in front of the right people as well. Okay. Next one coming from Bobby. I missed the beginning of the demo. Does this integrate with mobile tech? So yes and no.
Great question.
It is a really great question. So many of when you're seeing on the prospect side, that information would not be visible in mobile tech. However, as soon as we were to transfer that quote and make it into a service call, then yes, then you would see that appointment information in mobile tech.
Right.
Really good question.
And really, guys, you could start the customer prospect could be where you would start it inside of Dispatch. That would update if we set it in as a customer in Dispatch. So that would mean that mobile tech could see those customers, but the call, if you're setting up a call for like the estimate, we're not to that point yet. We're not transferring it unless we're transferring it at 0, which again, we could do. I didn't think about that, Brandon, either. So, so Bobby, great questions. We'll take that back as feedback as well and see what our development team can do with that.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. No other questions in the pane at the moment.
Perfect. Good. And I know, Brandon, we've got much more to come we have 3 sessions at Synergy. So we plan on showing off a ton around DispatchCenter and the different new modules, prospect, contract. Contract is amazing. Can't wait. They just don't let me show it to you yet. But at the same time, we're also going to be coming to Synergy with our machine schedule billing, our MSB product, with the ability to schedule equipment. And it's really standalone from the rest of the ERP side. So we can interact with billing, but it does not require you to have equipment set up. you can just simply use our machine schedule billing to manage your equipment, whether it's internal equipment pieces, external to be used on jobs that need to be billed. That one we're really planning on having a big splash at Synergy as well. So, and Brandon, you still have your select cost transfer to jobs and select cost transfer to service calls, which customers, again, asked for us from this last year, which we delivered and have running in several locations. So if you haven't seen select cost transfer yet, put that on your list to make sure you check out at Synergy.
And we did end up having another question come in from Michael.
Perfect.
How is the prospect turned into a customer if they don't already exist? I did ask this last week, but I'm wondering especially how the customer credit limits, et cetera, are set up after that.
Perfect. And I know right now, Brandon, on ours, I know Cheryl's on with us, and she probably could give us a few more specifics.
Yeah.
I just don't know if she's able to talk with us right now. Sorry, guys, I haven't. They only give me so many tasks to do.
Yeah.
So, Michael, we'll get you a follow-up on that, because I think Cheryl's probably on mute, and we'll get you a follow-up back on that and get you some additional information. So, great question.
Yeah, we'll start setting up the basic, and you would probably end up going into signature to finish up the more more of the details like that.
Perfect. So. Yeah, great question. And definitely, guys, our whole idea here was just giving you a few sneak peeks, so that way when you get to Synergy, we'll have more developers and consultants at Synergy. I think we've got a team of 6 traveling next week, so we'll definitely have a lot more talent there as well to hopefully be able to, guide you guys through some of the pieces. So, Brandon, I think you've exhausted all of our questions so far. Any last pieces that you want to share with the group as far as prospect goes?
I would just say, we're really starting to deliver on some of our #1 requests that we're hearing from customers, and that was, connecting other areas of their business, particularly around the sales side. So being able to not ignore our salespeople, but have key information about customers from ERP data, and start tracking those opportunities, leads, in a very seamless way, so we can create more visibility across more areas within your organization. So we're really excited to make an official launch, when we're at Synergy, where we can really get into it and get it in the hands of more customers. So
perfect, good. And I know customers have been excited. We've been showing it off a little bit as we get ready for launch. Customers are super excited, and we know that ours is very simple. Some customers have huge CRM implementations, which is perfect. This is really meant for those customers that are, at a good point, but yet they just want a little bit more as far as that capture device for their prospecting information. So definitely take a look at it, and we look forward to seeing everyone next week, and let us know if there's anything else that we can help with.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you so much for everyone's time. We will talk to you everyone soon.
Very soon. Thanks, guys, so much. Have a great day.